Not everybody wants to see you succeed. Some people get insecure by the fact that you're making moves in your life. And when this happens, they want to get in the way. They do whatever they can to make sure that you don't surpass them, because the more and more and more that you accomplish, the more they feel like nothing. Today, I'm going to tell you why you need to grind in secret. Do not share your goals with people.
Stop telling your visions to other people, because they're not going to see it.
Learn that some of the biggest accomplishments were built from the shadows. They are not built by drawing as much attention as possible to the fact that you are building. Let's jump right in to today's video. First thing that I really want to touch on today is the psychology of sharing your goals. Now, just think about this. How many people do you know that talk about wanting to run a marathon one day, or wanting to hike Everest, or any of these big things? Sometimes it's even, I just want to get started at the gym. So many of these people who talk about it nonstop don't end up ever actually taking any sort of action on their goals. And we have to ask ourselves, why is this? We begin to think, why is it that the people that talk the most seem to do the least? Why is that the case? Well, in my own experience, I've come to realize that there might be some sort of psychological reason behind this. There might be some sort of neurochemical reason even why this is the case. And here's kind of the way I've broken it down. It might be the case that by sharing your goals, you release just enough dopamine, just enough of that reward chemical, that you don't end up ever actually pursuing the goal. So let me put this a different way. When you share your goals publicly, you release this premature sense of accomplishment. It comes before you've actually done the thing. You kind of envision on hiking Everest, you envision on running the marathon, and that gives you a little bit of reward, but you didn't actually do anything yet. You're still sat on the couch with your buddies, drinking a beer, just talking. And when this happens, I believe the mind can be almost tricked into thinking it's done some proportion of what it claims that it wants to do. And this can be very dangerous. I mean, just think about New Year's resolutioners. How many people say that they're going to go to the gym on January 1st? And then they might even go the 1st and the 2nd and 3rd. But by the 4th or the 5th, really that second week of January, nobody's there anymore. The gyms are empty. And that might be because they got what they were looking for. They got that little bit of reward just by talking about it once or twice. And that's dangerous. That's the first reason why you don't want to be sharing your goals. Now, the second reason that really comes to my mind is the power of silent progress. The less of the world you share what you're going to do with, the less percentage of the world, the less percentage there is of distractions from people recommending that you do it this way or do it that way, or having to hear opinions of what people think with respect to your own personal objectives. This allows you to foster a deeper concentration towards these goals and make more and more progress while you're working from the shadows. Now, not just that, but you're free from external expectations. So not only are you free from getting these recommendations that might steer you off track from people that might actually really care about you, but you're also free from those expectations that might put an unnecessary pressure on you that will cause you to take the wrong path when you know you should be taking a different one. And this kind of leads me to the next reason why you should keep your grind a secret, is social dynamics and goal interference. Sometimes someone who might not understand you or your ambition or your goals or your drive might give you feedback that's negative because they don't understand what you're doing. They don't understand the gravity or the significance of what you're building. So they might tell you it's too risky or it's too dangerous or whatever they might tell you. And that's something that might plant a little seed of doubt in your mind that can derail your discipline and your motivation. And they might not have been right at all. They could have been totally wrong. Look, if they haven't done the thing themselves, they might be giving you advice or a warning in good faith. They might be really caring about you, but the reality is, if they haven't done it themselves and they're not in your mind with your heart, they don't know what you're out there to build. And so what might be dangerous and risky for them is not dangerous and risky for you. And so the social dynamic that you share with these people might cause them to interfere with your goals. And when this happens again, it might derail something that you were going to create that would have been amazing. Now, the next reason that you want to keep your grind a secret is the surprise factor. There is something invigorating about building something in the shadows, knowing that one day your building will be so tall and so high that the world can't help but notice it. And then when they hear that this is what you've been building this whole time for these days and weeks and months and years, that feeling as you're building is incredibly motivating, knowing that you've put in all this time to continue to grow something and they haven't been doing anything. You've been growing this thing in the background, and when you finally reveal what you've been doing, that surprise factor has been motivating you all along. And it's this self-fulfilling prophecy where, because you know in 5 years you're going to surprise all the people around you, for those 5 years you work even harder to make sure that when that 5-year point comes, the surprise is even bigger. And this is seriously something that is addictive, and you'll see how far it pushes you. The surprise factor is really, really strong. And the final reason why you should keep your grind a secret is strategic disclosure. Sometimes you'll find you get to certain places in your journey where you need allies and you need friends. And sometimes to rally those friends, you need an extra little, almost ego motivator you can give them, something that will speak to their ego, not just their mind, but their deep ego. And sometimes that's the fact that you haven't shared your progress or your project with anybody but them. And this is a strategic advantage that when you share your goals and you share your progress with someone that you're trying to rally as an ally, will turn their ego into an ally, not just their mind. And so guys, there are several reasons why you don't want to share your progress and share your goals, and you want to keep your grind a secret. Today we've spoken about a few of them, and I hope that I've convinced you to begin to grind from the shadows. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Spencer with Must Become. Always remember that your potential is your obligation, and so what you can become, you must become.